Hi, it's my privilege to talk about the group which I co-founded almost 26 years ago. The group is called BYLD, and many times we are asked a question, what does BYLD stand for? So this expands into building your leadership differentiators. And today we are recognized as one of the largest group in this part of the world because of various things. First and foremost is the quality of work which we do. We work in the areas which are impacting the lives of people across organizations, though it is bundled under human resources, what we call it human assets. We work in the area of psychometric assessments, we work in the area of leadership development, coaching, assessments, as I said earlier, of course, technology. We work in the areas of looking at staffing and so on and so forth. But the important part here is that over the years, we have come to be known as a group or a company which is very focused on customers. And this is primarily driven by our values. We have got values called I care. I stands for inclusivity, C stands for customer centricity, A stands for agility, R stands for reciprocity, and E stands for entrepreneurship. Now, with this value, we have created a mini conglomerate in the area of, in fact, we are the largest, if you ask me personally. I don't want to boast about it, but largest in terms of offerings we have got to offer. Now, looking at one particular aspect of it, which is our training business, which we started the first company in the year 1997-98. Now, there we started as a small group of entrepreneurs, and we were working in the area of sales, customer service, and marketing. But over the years, we have tied up with some of the leading brands, across the globe. And when we tie up with the brands, our only consideration is that they should offer, and I repeat, they should offer only research products which are culture neutral, well researched, and applicable across hierarchies. And we work in the areas of leadership influence, accountability, conflict, getting things done, etc., etc. Now, one of the leading brands we tied up foremost was Blanchard, Ken Blanchard companies, and now called as Blanchard. And we got a privileged rather to be their partners in this part of the world. And we offer leadership solutions, you name it, and we have it, like innovation, like diversity, like motivation, and so on and so forth. Then come to another offering which we have got, erstwhile Vital Smarts, and now called Crucial Learning. We work in the area of accountability. In fact, the two foremost flagship programs of Crucial Learning are Crucial Conversations and, of course, Influencer, along with accountability, getting things done, and power of habits, etc. Now, the very basis of the courses which we offer in the Indian market, and which is pretty unique to us, is research based. Based on the research, we write articles or books, and based on the books, we design programs, and those programs are also being periodically revamped. So this is pretty unique. No other company comes closer to that in doing it. Now, so that's the interesting part here is that many of our clients, or I would say most of our clients, don't know us as BYLD. They would know us as a Blanchard or a Crucial Learning or a Door Training, which is our company we founded the first, or YLE, or so and so forth. But today we have consciously come under a brand umbrella BYLD. Now, our focus in the future or the days to come is primarily take this group in the domain of technology. Now, with all those things happening in the technology domain, what we are trying to do here is looking at, can we have technological platform to deliver training, to monitor training, to offer the same to the clients, and also we are designing our own CRM. Now, with all these kind of offerings, we also got something called as staffing business, in which we offer not only the services per se, the headcounts, but also technology-based dashboards. Now, with this particular thing, I would like to spend a minute or two on what do we stand for. What do we stand for as a group is very simple. We stand for one window, top class, world class solutions, services, and also offerings to our clients. For example, in training business, we got methodologies like experiential. In the experiential, we got board games. In the experiential, we got, where you can have simulations in the room and look at what we can do through them or learning through them. We got online or virtual courses. We got blend of them. We got courses based on artificial intelligence and virtual reality also. So this is the range. So our depth range of the programs across hierarchies and across functions is the widest and the largest. And in fact, I invite you sometimes, give us a chance to give you a demonstration of that, or give you, as we call it, an experience, an education experience. Many of the clients who have come to our education experiences, they realize the power we carry in terms of our offerings. Now look at the assessments, psychometric assessments. Today, in terms of our assessments, we got assessments at all levels, be it in the front end level, middle level, or looking at the senior level. And we work a lot at the board level in trying to create more effective boards, in trying to look at how a CEO or a CMD of a company can take the entire team together more synergistically into the given goal direction. Now that's something which is very unique. So there is hardly any company or a group in this part of the world, or even maybe in Asia Pacific, or even in the global market, which can offer those kind of solutions which apply or can be used right from the top to the front end level. So as I said earlier, this is the depth, the breadth, and of course the methodology which we use is pretty unique. Now another thing which we have got here is that across the globe or in the Indian market, we have the privilege of working with almost 400 of Fortune 500 companies, and we are able to solve issues like accountability, or for example influence, or for example looking at conflict, or for example how do we go ahead and form teams and make them effective, because our whole focus as a mission is how we can make individuals, teams, and organizations more effective. Let me tell you what do we mean by effective. Effective is not just the word effective. When we say effective, we actually talk about that can you do more with lesser resources. You can keep on doing the same job at the top efficiency, but if you're not reducing the cost, if you're not increasing the output, then we don't define that as an effective. For us, effectiveness is that can we do more with increasingly lesser resources. Let me give you an example. Look at it, for example, if you take maybe a salesperson, he or she is doing 10 calls a day, right? Can she do 12 calls a day? Now when she is doing from 10 to 12 calls a day, what she is doing is she is making better use of time and looking at being more effective. Now in the effectiveness, another parameter is quality. Now when she is increasing the the number of calls, is she also increasing the quality of the call? And that is something which we mean by effectiveness. Look at the managerial levels, for example. Now somebody leads a team of 10 to 12 people. Now out of 10 to 12, if 8 are performing very well and some of them are kind of struggling, can he make the 9th person effective in terms of output? Can he make the 10th person, and so on and so forth? That is what effectiveness is, and not increasing the cost. If somebody says that I can send 2 people for a training program because they are not doing at what they are supposed to be doing, then that's not cost effectiveness. So we look at that. Now look at the senior most level. Now we help people look at the entire organization. So just to give you a brief idea here, we work at 4 levels of leadership. Self leadership, which is for me as an individual, input output. Interpersonal leadership, when I am impacting my team members. Then of course team leadership, when we are working as teams and somebody has to lead the team in a given direction. And organizational leadership. When you start looking at organizational leadership, effectiveness becomes very broad. Effectiveness becomes, hey, are we able to set the targets or the goals for the business or the company which are future oriented, or are we looking at limitations? And I find it very, very difficult at times when we talk to senior leaders that what is growth mindset. Now the growth mindset typically means that we should be growing all the time. We don't look at growth mindset like that. We look at growth mindset like, are we doing something different than we have been doing for years or months or days? Are we trying it out? Are we innovating? Are we finding new ways of doing the same thing? Are we looking at solving the existing and new problems in a new way, which costs us less, but it is more kind of productive and effective? So that growth mindset is not only getting more numbers, growth mindset also talks about, in our language, that can we keep on growing and proportionately the costs are not as high as it could be, because it's no big deal to increase the cost and increase efficiency. The big deal for us is increase the efficiency without increasing the cost. So that's one example. We were other day talking about a behavioral change at board level, and let me give you an interesting example which we went through. A couple of years ago, we were called as a team by the chairman of a large group in India. They are Indian group, but also they got international operations. When we entered there, the chairman said, Mr. Sood, I've got 5 to 10 minutes for this meeting, and I just want to give you a brief that what I expect from you. We said, okay, fine, go ahead. So he said to us, or he told us that I want to change the culture of my organization. We said, we don't understand. What do you mean by changing the culture? He then smiled a bit and said, it's simple. I want to change the culture of my organization. We said, again, we don't understand what you're trying to say. He said, no, this is very simple. I want to change the culture. So I said, are you saying you want a different culture which exists today? He said, yes, that's precisely I want. I said, then you tell me what is your current culture? We can't intervene and change anything which we don't know where it is at this point in time. So he said that, in the board meetings, my board members don't speak up. They actually listen to me and then thereafter hold it against me if it fails. And if succeeds, they say, sir, you gave this suggestion and we are so thankful to you. So we said, what do you want us to do in that situation? He said, I want them to challenge. I want them to contribute. I want them to make sure that my decision is accurately weighed, in the conversations. We said, okay, for that we need to, talk to your team members, the board members you're talking about. Can we have one-on-one discussions with them? And, we went ahead and met, I think, 7 out of 8. And one common message was, Mr. Sood, we can't speak in his presence. No way. And we said, why? He said, because the way he looks at you, if you open your mouth, many times, you lowers, his frame of the glass to the tip and looks at you like this, and then thereafter it is very freezing. So we don't dare speak in front of him. We went back to him. We said, this is what your team members are saying. To cut the long story short, we told him that, okay, please don't offer any suggestion or opinion. Just look at 2 things. You need to ask questions and you need to listen. Can you do it? Yeah, very easy. Ask and listen, ask and listen. We said, no, hold on. It's not that easy. The easy part is you're saying, yes, you can do it. The difficult part is you can't do it so easily as you're saying. So he said, no, I can do that. Okay, we said, for example, are you open to recording a meeting, where we can observe you later on, give you some feedback? He said, yes. So what we did was, we kind of, hired a person from his team who was of the rank of senior executive president, who was his PS, and asked her to sit in the meeting room with 2 placards. One placard reading ask and the other placard reading listen. I said that whenever he tends to go into offering suggestion or kind of giving a cold stare to anybody, just stand up and show those. And what happened? And I'm sure you know what happened. In the moment meeting started, he started going into his usual style of I know it all and so on and so forth. So when we asked him this question, he said that no, maybe that was a bad day for me. But when we looked at the video further, we realized that poor lady made attempts to stand up, and kind of hold that ask and listen. But when she stood up, he said, sit down, I know what you're going to say. Ask, listen, I can do that. Now here we are. That if we want to change the culture of an organization, friends, it has to start at the very top. And we told him very clearly that it begins with you, not with anybody else. Till that time you can't do ask and listen yourself. Please don't expect it from others that they will contribute. Credit to him without naming him or the company. He said, give me 2 weeks. I'll change my behavior. We said, no, take 2 months. Try and changing it. And by this time we had become comfortable in giving him more feedback. We said, this way it's not going to work because you are the role model. If you cannot act what you want, it will never happen. So he said, okay. So, he devised a trick. What he did was, on the left hand palm, he wrote ask. And on the right hand palm, he wrote listen. And he would sit in the meetings like this. So that is constant, and look at here on his palms, so that he would be constantly reminded of ask and listen. And after 4 months, we got a call from his office. We said that 2 months are gone and this business is not going to be ours. But then, 4 months we got a call, and he said, Mr. Sood, I'm ready for the discussions. We said, okay, we are going to talk to your team members again and figure out, are you really ready? Are you changing? And they said, yes, we see definitive change in his behavior in the board meetings. And that's what, friends, exactly we do. We change behaviors. We are not just doing training or doing assessments or something here and something there. We work comprehensively to have an impact on the existing behaviors if you want a different results. Because if you continue to behave the way you're doing today, you will continue to get your getting, right? So that's what we do. Let me give you another example. Where does it all start from? We do live studies in the situations of the clients, and when in fact Crucial Learning, rather than Vital Smarts, they kind of came out with the first book called Crucial Conversations. The starting point was going to a company for business, and it was a new company, and the concerned client said that prove to us you're good for us. And what we did was that we kind of shadowed individuals. They said that, look, we will give you 50 managers, and some of them are very good at getting both results and relationships, and some of them get results only. So we are giving you high performers. You need to tell us that what and how they differ or they differentiate. So we started chasing them in a way. We started shadowing them. And soon a pattern started emerging. The pattern was that some people had toughest of the discussions, but in a way where both the parties felt equally respected at the end of discussions. In a way that they felt that yes, I am being heard, in a way that I'm engaged, and that was kind of a thing came common. We went back to them and we said out of 50, 26 are the managers who are just pushing for results, and remaining 24 are pushing for both results and relationships. And we were so accurate that it was actually a group of 25, but we were pretty close. And that is where our research in human behavior started in the US, and it's ongoing still 30 years ago. And what we are doing there is actually keep on revising our research, and we call them as influence masters or dialogue masters. So what I'm sharing with you today is that our programs, our offerings, and whatever we do for the client is fundamentally deeply rooted on our behavior and on our belief system that if you want different results, you need to behave differently. Whether you're a salesperson or you're a board leader or you're a chairman or at any level of leadership. Let me give you a bit of where we think we are going in future. Everybody is talking about artificial intelligence. For us, artificial intelligence is actually human intelligence. And you know why I'm saying so? Because artificial intelligence or machine learning is just picking up whatever has been learned so far, and collating it at a very fast pace and reproducing it whenever you need it. That's my understanding of artificial intelligence, machine learning. Maybe I'm not updated completely, but this is what I hear from people. Now, what we are trying to do today is automate all our offerings, as I said briefly earlier, on platforms which we have designed, and believe you me, we are spending huge amount of internal funds on that, and it is huge by any standards, because what we want to do is offer world-class solutions in the local market and then eventually take local to global. Our ambitions are not confined to the boundaries of India or other countries in the neighborhood. Our ambitions are how do we go outside India. Our ambitions are how we take what we design and create here, outside India. At the same time, it is very important for us to maintain and grow the brand relationships which we have got. And recently we got a wonderful tie-up with American Management Association. Now, why did we tie up with AMA or American Management Association? Because they offer not only the widest range of programs, learning interventions, but also they offer global experience, the experience in the North American market. So just to sum up what I'm saying here, BYLD as a group expands into building your leadership differentiators. That means we try to create, better equipped, more competent, more committed leaders at different levels of hierarchy, be it self-leadership, be it one-on-one leadership, be it team leadership, be it organizational leadership. So that's one part of BYLD. Second part of BYLD is our offering in these 4 domains are very many. That means they are learning interventions, that means they are programs, that means they are assessments, that means they are diverse methodology. That means it could be a curriculum in the classroom, that means it could be a blended learning offering, it could be learning journeys actually. We specialize in creating learning journeys, where the process goes on for 4 months to 6 months to 8 months, and we are measurable. And I'm not saying measuring the impact of learning journey or ROI. We hold ourselves measurable in that particular context. So there's a second part we see. That offering is got the depth and the breadth, technology blend and so on and so forth. Third we are saying is all our offerings are research based, very unique. So if I'm offering a Blanchard solution or CL solution in the market today, nobody can challenge us that this is not original, because that is research based, that is documented, that is kind of revised every maybe 3 to 4 years. So that's the third thing I'm saying. And fourth thing I'm saying is that we are future oriented in terms of technology and AI. We are designing our own CRM, we are designing our training delivery platforms, we are designing our coaching platforms, and so on and so forth. So our offering today, we are so excited, to talk about it and take to the market, because this is the big differentiator. As I said earlier, and don't want to boast about it, our offerings today are very unique and the largest and the deepest and the broadest in this part of the world. And we are happy to invite you to take an education experience or give us a chance to demonstrate one of these products. Thank you very much.